Hi everyone, welcome to this Energise flow. We're going to play around with all the warriors today. So come and stand at the top of your mat and roll the shoulders back and down. Slight drawing in of the lower abdomen. And just coming to an awareness of the position of the pelvis and scapula in space. So maybe the shoulders need to draw together and down to open through the chest. Mid-back is active, back of neck is nice and long, so chin is tucked. And then the pelvis is not tucked out and not tucked under, but somewhere in between. And that might mean that you need to take the pubis just slightly back in space. Arms go out and up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Plant the hands and let the head go. And then step both feet back to down dog. Deep bend in the knees for me this morning. I'm feeling pretty tight. My lower back's feeling pretty tight. So I'm going to really give my body some time to warm up and open up here. I can play around with maybe straightening and bending both legs just to tell the hamstrings, hey, it's time to lengthen and warm. But I'm really focusing on opening up the back of my body. So pushing the ground away and drawing and containing through the front body. So I'm drawing my ribs up and I'm not sagging into my shoulders. So they're opening, broadening into extension. So almost as though you were going to open the arms out to the side, out wide, but you don't. So the humeral heads are in extension. Raise the right leg, long and straight. Keep it really active all the way to the balls of the feet. Flex foot. Bend, so a hamstring curl, bend the knee, and keep the pelvis in the same position. And then keeping that, tilt the pelvis open to the right. A couple of long, deep breaths. Coming to the position of the hands on the mat. Maybe pushing equally into both hands as you open the pelvis to the right. One more deep belly breath. And on the exhale, squeeze that knee to the right elbow. Or in that direction, you know. And then step back down dog. Raise the left leg long and straight. Deep bend in the right knee. Squeeze the heel of the left foot to the left hand, to the butt. So real hamstring curl there. Keeping the pelvis in the exact same position. Then peel the pelvis open, so stacking hip on hip and opening to the left. Whilst you keep both hands pressing evenly down on the mat. And I try and get as long as I can from the inside of that left knee to the tips of my right toes. One more big breath in. Exhale, squeeze the knee towards the left elbow. Step it back. High plank. Drop the knees if you need to, otherwise we're in a high plank position. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Drop both knees. Slowly lower, elbows go back behind you or slightly out on the diagonal to lower the chest all the way down to the ground. Reposition the hands in line with the boobs, roll the shoulders back and down. Back of neck is nice and long. And then inhale, exhale, extend. Get long from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Squeeze the shoulder blades together down the back. The glutes are active, the hamstrings are active. At the bottom of the next exhale, push through a modified plank to tuck toes, lift hips, back to down dog. Raise the right leg long, hamstring curl, squeeze that to the chest and try and step it forward somewhere near the hands. And then plant the back heel of the left foot. And then get long from the crown of the head to the left toes. And then keeping that length and strength in the body, try and lengthen the arms and then tilt the torso all the way up parallel. So standing up. vertical, I should say. I think I meant parallel. Vertical. Okay. Then in this position, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sink deeper into that right bent knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Take the hands to the hips just for a second and just notice that they're probably facing the left corner of the mat. That's perfect, okay? If this feels too uncomfortable to keep, then you can come to a modified warrior one. So this is more like the ball of the left foot, like a crescent lunge, and you can even bend that left leg if that feels better. A true warrior one, ideally we're trying to bring the hips forward to the front of the room, but that's really not very accessible, particularly for women, okay? So for me, it feels much better to think of having my hips towards the left top corner of my mat. And I'm slightly trying to draw that hip around and draw the right one back, but not at the expense of any other kind of aims of yoga, such as feeling at ease, feeling good, feeling like there's some sense of satisfaction in the pose that you're in. So inhale, exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back to a high plank, drop the knees if you need to, otherwise lower all the way down to the mat, roll the shoulders back and down, inhale, exhale, extend, push back, down dog. Raise the left leg long, hamstring curled, squeeze that to the chest or as close as you can to it. Push the ground away to create space to step the left foot. And then keep the hands down on the mat, maybe come up onto the fingertips. Plant the back heel. And keep that length from the crown of the head to the tips of the right toes and you know, the back of the arch of the right foot and right heel. And then get the arms long and come all the way up to vertical. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sink into that left knee. And again, the hip bones are probably facing towards the right corner of the mat. Sinking down a little bit deeper if you can, but containing through the ribs to get long through the spine. Squeeze the mid back. And then the hands come beside the foot. Step left foot back to right. And then drop the knees if you need, otherwise full plank all the way down to the ground. Roll the shoulders back and down. Extend through the spine, get long. And then on the exhale, push back, down dog. I want you to drop the right elbow down, so that might mean that you take the right hand back a little bit before you drop it down. Bend in the knees if you need. Most of us will benefit from a nice bend in the knees to get some hip flexion. So we're in like a dolphin pose here on both forearms. Just holding this for one big breath in. Big breath out. Come back up to the left and then the right. Raise the right foot. Hamstring curl, squeeze knee to chest. Step it somewhere near the hands. Plant the back foot. Come through a warrior one. Into a warrior two. Open through the chest, so flip the palms so that they're open and we're in external rotation of the humeral head. Long, deep breath in. Look at the right palm, reverse the warrior, let the left hand trace somewhere down the back leg. And then windmill the hands or cartwheel them or whatever you want to do to get them either side of the right foot. Step back to a full plank. Come onto the blade edge of the left foot and the inner seam of the right foot for a side plank. If that's too strong, step down onto the left knee and come for a modified side plank. Get long, open through the right side of the body. Grab the hands, step back through a chaturanga this time. So drop the knees if you need to. We're going to do like a chest press or a little push-up until you can't control it anymore, and then you're going to drag the chest through, push the ground away, come up if you're in a full up dog, off the hips and the quads. Otherwise, if you want to come from a modified plank, then come through all the way down, baby cobra. Then push back, down dog. pull that on the other side. So squeeze and strengthen through the left leg, hamstring curl, so bend the knee, and then draw the knee towards the chest. Create as much space as you can to step that between the hands, or clear it near as you can. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. I like just a little bit more space between my feet for warrior two, so I kind of just lengthen my stance when I do that transition. External rotation, so broaden through the collarbones but contain through the ribs. And then just kind of soften a little bit here. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Crack, crack with my neck. I kind of play around with releasing some tension in my neck. You can look up at the hand, you can look down at the back foot. And then windmill the hands down to come and stand on the blade edge of the right foot and the inner seam of the left foot. Otherwise you're in a modified plank on the right knee. Get long, long, long. From fingertip to fingertip. You could extend it all the way overhead if you want. Or open through the left side of the body, like a little rainbow. And then push to a down dog through a chaturanga. So modified if you want. Up dog. Down dog. Last little flow. We're coming into warrior three. Raise the right leg. Squeeze knee to chest, step forward. Through warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Then this time come back through a warrior two. Turn to face the right foot, extend both arms nice and long like we did in warrior one. And then we're going to come to extend out of that left foot and stand on the right with a tiny bend. You can dorsiflex or point your toe on the left foot and stand strong on the right. Tiny bend in the right knee. Get long from fingertips to toes. And then slowly control back down for a crescent lunge. And then hands can come down beside the foot. Step back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Raise left leg. Curl, step. Warrior one. Open warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Warrior three. So I come through like a crescent lunge, and then I lean my torso forward and tilt so much that I'm standing on my left leg. My right leg is really strong and straight. I'm trying to turn my hips down to the mat, and I can point or flex my foot, strong on the core, and then control, coming back through crescent. Hands come down either side of left foot, step back. Drop knees if you need, otherwise chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back to dolphin. This time we're going to come onto the left forearm and then the right forearm. Bend the knees, push the ground away and get long as though you want to flex the hips to bring the, almost like you want to kind of push the ground away and lift the hips up as far as you can to get as long from the crown of the head to the top of the hips. And that means I need to bend my knees quite a lot, but if you can keep your knees straight and do that, go for it. And then coming up. Down dog, walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Deep bend at the knees, let the belly rest and let the head completely go here. So it has a tiny bit of flexion in the spine. I am sort of curling inwards to myself, letting my head go, maybe shake no. And then let the hands come to the back of the heels to draw you even more into yourself. And just a couple more deep breaths in this position. And because, sometimes we can get a bit lightheaded, we're going to slowly stand. So let the fingertips trace up the back of the legs as you slowly straighten. Keep a tiny bend at the knees, but you're slowly straightening the legs and peeling the torso all the way up one at a time. So deep flexion of the spine, squeeze the front to the back body. Slowly, 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 so that the head is the last thing to come all the way up into extension. And then just stand here, maybe take a prayer pose or take both hands to the heart, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And just spending just a brief moment here with yourself, exactly as you are. Almost as though you're withdrawing from being fused with the narrative of the thinking mind. Whatever imagery works for you to practice that withdrawal. Perhaps it's a stepping away or imagining that the thinking mind is a cloud drifting further from you, or a radio that you're just turning down. Just allowing a second to practice moving in and out of being fused with the narrative of the thinking mind. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that flow, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Namaste.